Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're covering episode 4 of Netflix's ongoing K-drama Beyond the Bar. If you haven't watched my recaps for episodes 1, 2, and 3, make sure to check those out first, the links are in the description. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more K-drama recaps. Now, let's get started with episode 4. Episode 4 begins with a man coming out of an apartment. Ho-min follows him, looking very upset. She ties her handkerchief around his wounded hand and looks at his face, which the viewers don't see. Her eyes are filled with pain. The story shifts to the present, where Kotsop meets Mr. K-min, the owner of Como Fund. K-min says he always wants to be number one, which is why he hired Korea's top law firm, Lee & Company. Kotsop replies that their own firm is also among the top 5. K-min then reveals that he is close to Mr. Koch, the founder of Ulam, so this time he wants to give Ulam a chance. Kotsop thanks him and promises full effort. But K-min sets a condition: since this is a personal matter, only attorney Yun must handle the case. Kotsop is surprised and says they have a better lawyer, Do-yun, because Yun's track record isn't that great. But K-min insists he knows Yun's win rate is actually good, and if Yun takes this case, Como Fund will invest in Ulam instead of Lee & Company. This leaves everyone tense. After K-min leaves, Do-yun wonders why Yun would accept. Kotsop thinks of an idea: if Mr. Kim, his father's right-hand man, personally requests Yun, he won't refuse. Later, Yun attends a meeting where Mr. Kim explains that Como Fund has a case for them. K-min introduces himself and says he wants to file a defamation case. Kim is shocked when K-min says the target is his housekeeper. She had reported to the police that he abused his daughter and even involved the media. Though K-min used his influence to escape, he still fears she might cause more trouble. He wants the matter resolved quietly, inside or outside court, without media exposure, as his company's reputation is at stake. Yun asks why the housekeeper would do this. K-min shows him some photos the housekeeper has, claiming they are fake or created with makeup. He admits he spends little time with his daughter, while the housekeeper is with her daily, so she could easily manipulate things. He considered paying her off but feared it would look like an admission of guilt. After the meeting, Lee Jin warns Yun that Como Fund has powerful investors, some linked to the underworld. K-min is so influential that even if he committed murder, he could get away. He doubts a man with such a clean public image would abuse his daughter. At that moment, Yun gets a call from Kim saying K-min has accepted the high retainer fee of 500 million. Yun agrees to take the case. Lee Jin is shocked and reminds him that Yun never takes cases involving child abuse, animal abuse, or domestic violence. Attorney Yan is also stunned when she hears the news. Lee Jin points out that if Como Fund becomes Kotsop's client, their firm will rise to number 1, and Kotsop will likely become CEO of the company founded by his father. Yan worries about what that means for them. Just then, Yan is told that a walk-in client has come about a divorce case. When she goes to meet the client, she is shocked to recognize the person. She immediately asks Mr. Kim to leave so she can talk privately. Kim steps out nervously, telling Lee Jin that he actually fears Yan more than his own wife. Years ago, when his win rate was at its lowest and his career was falling apart, attorney Yan joined as his junior and helped him rise to success. Mr. Kim always listens to attorney Yan because without her, he would have been nothing. In the litigation team meeting, Yun says they need to personally go to Pohang for a case. Lee Jin agrees and decides to take Oh-song, Han, and Choi with him, but since there's also the mayor's case trial, it will be a week-long trip. Yun understands. Yun jokes to Ho-min that she'll be left working alone in the office, but Lee Jin tells him to stop whispering. Then Lee Jin asks if they should start work on the Como Fund case. Yun agrees and orders a meeting to be scheduled with the housekeeper. Later, Lee Jin gives Ho-min the housekeeper's contact and address, asking her to meet the woman since she wasn't answering calls. Ho-min goes to her place, which is located high up, and after some struggle finds it. She introduces herself as a lawyer from Ulam law firm and begins questioning her. The housekeeper explains that she reported K-min because she couldn't take it anymore. Every time she went to his house, she saw the bruises on his daughter's body. She recalls once finding the girl locked inside a closet, trembling after being beaten. When she tried to take her to the hospital, K-min stopped her and instead brought a doctor to treat the child at home, to avoid exposure. She insists the police and media are bought off and nobody will help. Hearing this, Ho-min grows emotional and believes her. But back at the office, when she tells Yun and Lee Jin, they dismiss her claims. Yun asks her to leave, which upsets her. Then Kotsop storms in angrily, blaming her for mishandling the case. He shows Lee Jin a text the housekeeper sent. Came in, your lawyer came to meet me. It's over now. She promised to protect In Young and send you to jail. I won't let you go. Send the money now. Kotsop yells that Homin betrayed the client and helped a greedy woman after money. He storms off, while Yun silently watches without defending her. Upset, Homin goes to the rooftop, where Lee Jin finds her. He tells her she was fooled, the housekeeper had stolen Kaiman's wallet and watches before, and when she was fired, she tried blackmail by spreading abuse claims. He shows her the woman's criminal record of fraud and theft. Homin then remembers the woman asking if Kaiman would go bankrupt, since he still owed her money. Realizing she was tricked, Homin later apologizes to Yun, promising not to repeat the mistake. Yun forgives her but reminds her that just because someone has a criminal past doesn't mean they're lying, and someone who looks good on the outside could still be hiding something. That night, Yun visits Kaiman's house to apologize for the junior's mistake. Kaiman says it's fine, he trusts Yun. Yun brings a gift for the daughter. When the girl arrives, she immediately hides behind the new housekeeper at the sight of her father. Kaiman insists she's just shy and asks her to greet Yun. She softly says hello, making Yun smile. He tries to pat her head, but the girl flinches in fear, which breaks Yun's heart. She accepts the gift nervously and thanks him, but is clearly scared. After the housekeeper takes the girl away, Yun asks about her mother. Kaiman coldly replies that he doesn't want to talk about her. The next day, Yunan meets with the housekeeper. She insists she didn't do it for money. Yunan asks why she tried to take money from Mr. Kaiman's safe. The housekeeper explains that she was trying to run away with the child but had no money. The safe, usually locked, was open that day, but it was a trap. Police caught her as soon as she stepped outside. She says it was all Kaiman's plan. Yunan then reminds her that even after this, she demanded money and blackmailed his client. The housekeeper replies that she only asked for her own unpaid wages. Meanwhile, Kaiman laughs as she speaks. Yunan says, "Look, my client is suing you for defamation. Under the law, spreading false evidence to ruin someone's reputation can mean 7 years in jail or a fine of 15 million won." Hearing this, the housekeeper shouts and curses Kaiman, insisting she's telling the truth. Yunan adds, "And if you insult someone in public, it's another year in jail or a fine of 2 million. So yes, see you in court." As he leaves, the housekeeper begs, asking what they really want. Yunan warns her to stay in her limits, otherwise she'll be jailed for threats and blackmail. He places some documents in front of her, an affidavit promising not to make false complaints, not to accuse his client of child abuse again, and not to demand money. If she does, she'll have to pay triple damages. Crying, the housekeeper stamps her thumb on the papers. Outside, Kaiman praises Yunan, saying he solved everything quickly, and even hints at more cases for the future. Yunan agrees. Later, Homin tries to talk to Yunan, but Lee Jin stops her. At night, Homin sees Yunan leaving the office and runs to him. She reminds him that he once told her not to judge based only on the housekeeper's past crimes, yet now he has done the same. Yunan silently looks at her. Almost in tears, she begs him to say something, at least give an excuse. Yunan simply says, "Why should I?" and steps into the elevator. Before the doors close, Homin blocks it and declares, "I'll report Kaiman myself." Han interrupts, "What's the point? He's too clever, he even brought doctors home to cover up, and he trapped the housekeeper. The Como Fund money belongs to the most powerful people, and he launders it for them. Do you think they'll let him go to jail over a child abuse case? And even if he did go, once he's out, he won't spare that girl." The elevator doors close, leaving Homin standing alone. Moments later, Yunan comes back and softly tells her, "I wasn't angry at you. Miss Kang Homin, I'll come see you tomorrow." The next day, Homin comes to the office in a good mood. She sees attorney Yoon rushing into his office. Later, a man and a woman visit him with some documents, and Yoon turns on the privacy glass, which surprises her. The whole day passes, and Yoon never comes out. At night, Homin still waits but doesn't see him. The same thing happens the next day, with people coming to meet him. Worried, she asks Secretary Seo who those people are, and Seo says they seem like financial advisors. Again, Yoon doesn't leave until late at night. On the following day, his office is locked. Seo tells her Yoon went away for a few days. Homin becomes restless, stops eating properly, and feels distracted. Jane asks what's wrong, and Homin explains that attorney Yoon hasn't been around. She wonders if he's upset with her after their earlier argument. Jane laughs and says that's not possible. Unable to sleep, Ho-min goes to the office at night, peeks inside Yoon's office, and eventually goes in. She sits in his chair but falls asleep there. In the morning, Yoon finds her. Startled, she bombards him with questions about where he was. He brushes it off, saying he doesn't need to report everything to his junior. She storms off, but he stops her, gives her his handkerchief to wipe her tears, and tells her to leave. Just then, Yoon gets a call from K-min. He says he's in big trouble, his daughter went outside, someone complained to the police, and now officers are at his door. He doesn't want them to see his daughter in her condition. Yoon asks if he beat her, and K-min admits it. Yoon asks about her condition, and K-min says it's bad. Yoon rushes out, but since the driver is unavailable, Ho-min offers to drive. They reach K-min's house, but there's no police. K-min says they left after ringing the bell a few times. Yoon tells him they need to erase evidence quickly, since the police might return. He has arranged a doctor and promises to send the child back home once she recovers. Yoon goes upstairs and finds the little girl hiding in a cupboard, terrified and crying. He reassures her and takes her out. As they leave, K-min yells at the girl to obey him and not cause trouble. Yoon ignores him and takes her away. The girl faints, and they rush her to the hospital. The doctor says she has internal bleeding and needs surgery. While they wait, Yoon grows furious inside. After an hour, the doctor says they managed to stop the bleeding but that she was brought in just in time. The housekeeper also arrives, crying. She explains that Yoon had already warned her earlier to stay away from K-min, because the child's life was at risk. Ho-min notices Yoon is gone. She runs outside and sees him taking a taxi. She follows him to K-min's house, where Yoon brutally beats K-min, nearly killing him. Just as he's about to finish him, Ho-min tries to stop him but is pushed aside. Suddenly, an unknown man arrives and orders Yoon to stop. This man turns out to be Tae-song, a former gangster and investor in K-min's Como fund. Yoon had investigated and discovered K-min was stealing from Tae-song. They struck a deal. Yoon would help Tae-song recover his money if Tae-song helped bring justice for the child. Back in the present, K-min is taken away by Tae-song's men. Yoon and Ho-min return to the hospital to see the little girl. Yoon breaks down crying, saying, "How can such a horrible man be a father? I wish In Young were my daughter." Ho-min tells him he would be a wonderful father and asks how old his child is. Surprised, Yoon says he doesn't have one. She asks about the Fridays he spends with his child, and Yoon explains that he and his ex-wife take care of a dog together. He then tells her to go home, while he stays at the hospital. Meanwhile, K-min suffers the same kind of abuse that he inflicted on the child. First, K-min was beaten badly, then taken to a doctor for treatment. In Young also fully recovered, and the compensation money that K-min had paid was transferred into her account. Attorney Yoon kept his promise to Tae-song and managed to track down the money K-min had stolen. Taking advantage of the situation, the other investors also filed lawsuits, which left K-min bankrupt. Finally, K-min was sent to prison on charges of embezzlement and fraud. In Young's custody was given to her mother, who had divorced K-min because of his violence. After a few days of chaos, everything settled down. When Ho-min returned to the office, she was greeted by Lee-jin, who cheerfully said good morning. Hearing his voice, she became so excited and happy. Lee-jin teased her, asking if she had been that bored without them. Soon Han Choi and Oh-song also arrived, and Ho-min was even happier. Han jokingly asked if she was sick or had a fever because she looked too cheerful. Then he suggested to the others that they should keep going on trips like this, at least to keep Ho-min happy. Later, when Ho-min went to Yoon's office, she seemed distracted. Yoon noticed and asked why her face was red. Did she catch a fever from the rain? Embarrassed, she denied it and quickly ran away, hiding her face. In the washroom, she wondered to herself if she really had caught a cold and even checked her temperature in different ways. Meanwhile, Yoon received a phone call and hurried out. Ho-min saw him leaving and called out, but he only said later and rushed off. She wondered what urgent matter had come up. It turned out Yoon had gone to the dog care center. He asked Wonju what had happened. Wonju said it was nothing serious, just an upset stomach. Yoon got angry, but the vet explained they had already given the dog an injection and it would be fine soon. Yoon then pulled Wonju aside and asked what his problem was. The truth is, Wonju was now married to Yoon's ex-wife, and to make it even more complicated, he was also Yoon's old school friend. Yoon angrily asked if he felt no shame marrying his friend's ex-wife. Wonju replied that he had only met Yona 2 years after the divorce, so what was there to be ashamed of? They were arguing when Yona herself arrived and told them to stop. Wonju left, and Yoon noticed that Yona was pregnant. Seeing this broke his heart. The episode ends here.